The month of Ramadan has not always been free from hardships, even for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions. One of these hardships was the Battle of Badr, a pivotal confrontation that took place on the 17th of Ramadan, or March 13th, 624 CE, 2 years after the Hijrah. It was the first significant battle between the Muslims and the Quraysh. With 313 Muslims and 950 well-equipped soldiers from Mecca, the odds were heavily stacked against the Muslims. What were the events leading to this battle? How did the Muslims achieve victory? And what impact did it have on Islam in the years that followed? History. After Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, migrated to Medina, the Meccans continued to launch raids against the city, stealing livestock from the Muslims. Despite their relocation, the Muslims remained under constant threat from the Quraysh, who saw the Prophet and his growing influence as a threat to their power, wealth, and authority. Led by Abu Sufyan, the Meccans sought ways to undermine the new Muslim community. Abu Sufyan, returning from a trade journey in Syria, was transporting a caravan of valuable goods. Recognizing the threat this posed to the Muslims, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, took the step of intercepting the caravan. However, when the caravan's route was altered due to intelligence about the Muslims' approach, Abu Sufyan sent word to Mecca, and the Quraysh gathered an army to protect their interests. The conflict was escalating, and the Muslims were preparing for battle. In response to the ongoing persecution, God revealed verses permitting the Muslims to defend themselves. The Quran stated, "Permission to fight has been given to those who are being fought because they have been wronged, and indeed Allah is capable of granting them victory." The Battle of Badr, which took place in March 624 CE, holds immense significance in Islamic history as a moment of divine intervention and a pivotal turning point for the early Muslim community. The Quraysh army, led by its chief Abu Jahl, marched toward the Valley of Badr, aiming to crush the growing influence of the Muslims in Medina. The Quraysh forces were heavily prepared, numbering around 1,000 men, including their most formidable warriors and well-equipped soldiers, with 100 horses and a large number of camels. Their goal was to wipe out the Muslim presence in Medina and put an end to the nascent Islamic movement. However, the Muslims, though far fewer in number, only about 313 in total, arrived at Badr a day earlier. They had only 70 camels and 2 horses, yet they were determined to defend their faith, homes, and lives. Key companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, played crucial roles in the battle. Among them were Abu Bakr, Umar, Ali, and Hamza, who were among the most skilled fighters and loyal supporters of the Prophet. The battle began with a duel between champions from both sides. The Quraysh sent out their best warriors, but the Muslims, led by Ali, Hamza, and Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, fought with such courage and determination that the tide of the duel turned in favor of the Muslims. Ali and Hamza, in particular, proved their valor by killing their opponents, showing great prowess on the battlefield and boosting the morale of the Muslim army. As the battle intensified, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, played a central role in directing the Muslims and invoking the assistance of Allah. According to accounts, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, took a handful of pebbles and threw them toward the Quraysh army, symbolizing divine intervention. He then prayed fervently for Allah's help with the words, "O Allah, if this group is destroyed, you will not be worshipped." His reliance on Allah and his steadfastness in the face of overwhelming odds were profound acts of faith. Miraculously, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions prayed, the Muslims saw a turn in fortune. The Quraysh, despite their numerical superiority, began to falter and break ranks. Confusion spread through their ranks and the battle quickly shifted in favor of the Muslims. The Quraysh forces, disheartened and overwhelmed by the divine support the Muslims were receiving, began to flee the battlefield in disarray. This sudden retreat marked a decisive victory for the Muslims, despite their smaller numbers and less sophisticated weaponry. The battle lasted only a few hours, but its outcome was momentous. By the afternoon, the Quraysh army was in full retreat, leaving behind many dead, including some of their most prominent leaders, such as Abu Jahl, who was killed by the Muslims. The Muslims, though victorious, mourned the loss of their own companions, such as Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, who had fought bravely and was wounded in the battle. The victory at Badr was not only a military success, but also a moral and spiritual triumph. The Quran describes this victory as a divine triumph, emphasizing that it was Allah's intervention that brought about the Muslims' success. In Surah Al-Imran, verse 125, the Quran recounts the divine support granted to the Muslims. If you are steadfast and mindful of Allah, your Lord will reinforce you with 5,000 angels. This divine support was seen as an assurance that Allah was on the side of the righteous, reinforcing the belief that the Muslim cause was divinely ordained. The aftermath of the Battle of Badr marked a significant turning point for the Muslim community. Not only did it strengthen their morale, but it also established them as a formidable force in the Arabian Peninsula. The defeat of the Quraysh, especially the loss of many of their leaders, was a blow to their pride and authority. This victory emboldened the Muslims, attracted more people to Islam, and shifted the balance of power in the region. It also demonstrated that despite being outnumbered and under-equipped, the Muslims could prevail through their faith, unity, and reliance on Allah. The Battle of Badr became a symbol of faith, courage, and divine support for the Muslim community. It is still remembered as one of the most significant battles in Islamic history, reminding Muslims that, no matter the odds, victory can come through steadfastness, righteousness, and trust in Allah. In the aftermath of the battle, 14 Muslims were martyred, while 70 Quraysh soldiers were killed, including Abu Jahl. The Muslims captured around 50 prisoners of war, whom the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, treated with respect and dignity. Those who could teach 10 Muslims to read and write were freed, emphasizing the importance of education. Those who couldn't teach could either pay a ransom or be freed without payment. The funds from the ransom were redistributed to the poor and orphans in Medina. The victory at Badr was a significant turning point. It established the Muslims as a force to be reckoned with in the Arabian Peninsula. The Quraysh and other tribes began to recognize Muhammad, peace be upon him, as one of the most powerful leaders in the region. The battle also had major political ramifications, with Abu Sufyan becoming the leader of the Quraysh after the death of Abu Jahl. The Battle of Badr is mentioned in Surah Al-Imran and Surah Al-Anfal, highlighting its significance in Islamic history. The Battle of Badr, one of the most significant events in Islamic history, serves as a powerful reminder to believers that no matter how daunting the challenges we face may seem, victory is always possible for those who place their trust in Allah. The battle, fought in 624 CE, took place between the early Muslims in Medina and the Quraysh of Mecca. Despite being outnumbered and facing seemingly insurmountable odds, the Muslims triumphed, with the victory attributed not only to their courage and strategic planning, but also to the divine intervention of Allah. This monumental event underscores the importance of having unwavering faith and reliance on Allah, particularly when faced with difficult situations. It teaches that, when we trust in Allah and remain patient, perseverance will lead to success, even in the most challenging circumstances. The story of Badr is a testament to the power of belief, unity, and the strength that comes from surrendering to Allah's will. By reflecting on the lessons of the Battle of Badr, we are reminded that no matter what obstacles we face in our lives, be they personal, social, or professional, we must always turn to Allah for support. Allah's guidance and mercy are infinite, and He is always there to help us through the toughest of trials. For more insightful content that delves into the rich history and teachings of Islam, be sure to subscribe to the Muslim Vibe on YouTube. Turn on the notification bell to ensure that you never miss a video, and continue to grow in knowledge and understanding of our faith. Let these powerful lessons from the past inspire and guide us in overcoming the challenges we encounter in the present and future.